Was Tom Selleck actually hot?
Did Cary Grant need abs when he did movies?
No. I got girl crazy as soon as I got into kindergarten. The day you discover the orgasm
Mhm.
to the day that you stop having them by yourself. I had that same exact centerfold hanging up in my room.
I was madly in love with Perry King in that
Wow.
movie. I thought
Yeah.
Perry King was so hot. I wasn't into him as much when he got older and did, like, the Riptide
I don't think it really worked out for him. Her ass is, like, running down to the back of the thighs. Like, there's nothing there. Yo, what's going on, lady?
Hey, what's up, babe?
So today, the episode name was Tom Selleck Actually Hot?
I love that title.
It's a hook.
It's a hook.
It's a hook, man. So the overarching theme is standards of beauty, right?
Mhm.
Because we've been around and we were around back in the 70s and the 80s when everybody had your crazy hair, mutton chops, and hairy chests, and nobody worked out. Nobody went to the gym back in the day. You know what I mean? So, obviously 2025 things are way different than they were when we were kids, right? So
Definitely.
you being a psych major, okay, we have these deep conversations about a lot of things that have to do with nature versus nurture, right? So
Mhm.
the thing is, you discover the opposite sex, right, at a very, very young age,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
So how much of what influences you is natural or innate like hardwired into you from when you're born, and how much of it do you think is environmental, Hollywood, media, magazines,
Magazines,
all of
yep.
that crap. So what do you think?
When I really think about it, I think we are probably influenced more with nurture than nature. So I'm not saying that I don't think you have natural inclinations to what you might find attractive,
Mhm.
but I do think a lot of it is, I don't want to say force fed, but I do think a lot of it is. Because if
What?
you look at how the standard of beauty has changed from, well, let me preface this by saying I'm a huge old Hollywood fan.
Mhm.
I love black and white movies. I
I
love the
know.
whole glamour of old Hollywood,
Yep.
Betty Davis, Joan Crawford, Jimmy Stewart, all those people. And when you look at movies from that era, women were buxom. I'm not saying you didn't have some thinner women, but being buxom was a standard of beauty. Look at Marilyn Monroe. She's one of the biggest bombshells, sex symbols that we have. Her image is still so prevalent in today's society.
Wasn't she like a size 12 or something?
I believe she was a 12.
That's pretty
By
big.
today's standards, she might have been a plus size,
Yeah. Yeah.
and guys fawned over her. She was a star of movies. And it just seems to me like, I always joke around and say when you look at movies back then, the women all had hips, they all had boobs. I joke around about those cone bras they used to wear where all
Yep.
their boobs look like big
The
triangles.
Jane
But
Russell cross your heart
the
bra.
Jane Wilson crossed her heart
Remember
bra. I
that?
mean, you wanna talk about a different standard of beauty,
Yeah.
Janie Mancy, all these women, Sophia Loren. I mean, you got
Mhm.
these beautiful women, some of them were statuesque, but they had bodies on them.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like oh, like you didn't notice.
I didn't know. Yeah. I had no
But I
idea.
feel like in today's world, every time I turn on the
Mm.
TV, women, and a lot of them are beautiful, but women tend to be, you're a size 2 if you're a lead. And you're a B cup if you're a lead. And I just don't see that standard of beauty anymore. And how many times do we say the camera gained 10
Yeah.
pounds or puts on 10 pounds? Imagine how thin these women really are. It's
Yeah.
a camera is putting 10 more pounds on them.
Mhm.
So, even when it comes to men are affected by it too. You look at old movies, you had your Jimmy Stewart, who's kind of tall and lanky, great actor.
Mhm.
But now I kind of feel like every time I watch a TV show, we watch Dexter. I love that show. We finished Ray Donovan recently.
Mhm.
Every time I watch a TV show now, the male lead always has cause to take his shirt off. I mean, they just always do. The guy's always shirtless at some
I know
point,
you hate
and they're
that.
all in. Oh, I hate that.
She hates it.
Yuck. Ew, keep away
Yeah.
from me. Anyway, so the guys always have cause to take their shirts off. And every time I turn around, they're all in great shape. These
Yeah.
guys, you can tell they're working out. They're going to the gym. They've all got biceps. They've all got pecs. They all got abs. Did Cary Grant need abs when he did he did movies?
No.
When Jimmy Stewart did It's a Wonderful Life, was
Uh-huh.
he flashing his washboard abs?
Mary. "No, Mary, look at these abs, look."
Yeah. No, but
I think the big dividing line, obviously, right, was gym culture versus body hair, right? It was like the standard was, right, again, like, my 2 favorite examples are Burt Reynolds, and he was 70s and 80s,
70s, yeah,
right?
he was
And
70s.
again, the reason why I brought up Tom Selleck because he was, like, the hottest man in the world for, like, all throughout the '80s and stuff like that, right? It
Yep,
was the mustache, the
mhm,
hairy chest, and it's like,
yep.
what do you gotta lift weights for if you got a bearskin rug on your chest? Like,
You're
nobody
covering it up,
can
yeah,
see you butt. So, I mean, the thing is, it's really manscaping and
mhm,
gym culture
yep,
is really where things have changed, but I
mhm.
gotta throw it back because 'cause I've been dying to ask you this question. Talk about nature versus nurture.
Oh,
When did you actually start noticing boys?
that is a loaded question.
I know, that's why
Okay,
I asked
that's a
this.
loaded question.
Yeah.
Okay, so my earliest memory, and this is one my mom always reminded me about. I was at a pediatrician's office, and I literally was about 6 years old, and my mom has told me this story so many times, and I do have some memory of doing this.
Mhm.
There was a little boy there, he's about 12 years old, the older man.
the older man.
The older man. And mom told me the entire time we were in that lobby waiting to see the doctor, I was flirting with him. I went
Nice.
over to him, I was holding his hand, I
Wow.
kept talking to him. Mom said at one point, I told her he was my boyfriend. I was out of control. 6 years old, I was out of control.
6 years old.
6 years old. So mom actually told me that I was a flirt since I was little.
Mhm.
So I would have to say my earliest recollections of liking boys was probably about 6. I didn't know why I liked them. I didn't know why I thought they were cute. I didn't know
That's
why I was crushing on a 12-year-old,
that's
but
the
all I know
nature.
is yeah,
That's
that's
the nature
nature.
part of it, right?
That's the
So for
nature
me,
for it.
it was pretty simple. I got girl crazy as soon as I got into kindergarten, and it was like immediate, you know what I'm saying?
Big surprise.
So just to throw it back, okay, it was 1973, all right?
Yeah.
But there was none of that, like, jeans and sneakers crap, right?
Mhm.
We went to school, we dressed up,
Yep.
and my mom had me at a very young age, so, she had her own 21, 20-something-year-old ideas of what a young boy is supposed to look like, and basically,
Mhm.
she dressed me like a dork. Like,
That was the '70s. We all look like dorks.
yeah, like, go
Corduroy,
go
mom put me in pirate shirts.
pull up the Sears catalog from '73. All right?
Mhm.
That is so the thing is, so my first day of school, I probably had, like, a white turtleneck and, like, red, white, and blue plaid pants. Like, the only thing I was missing was the pipe, like, what I'm saying, to complete the look, right? Dress shoes, but that's
Were you
besides the
going on a yacht?
what?
Were you going on a yacht?
Yeah, yeah, I was going sailing, So, and then we were gonna go, we were gonna go have martinis at the club afterwards, but that's besides the point. So I walk in, I remember, like, and again, I have these very distinct memories. It's like 50 years ago, but the girls all wore dresses. And
Mhm.
they
Yep.
wore, like, the matching tights, like the nylons, like the red or the white or whatever it was. And you remember Mary Jane sandals?
I had a pair,
You
of
had to ha
course, yeah.
everybody
Little
had them.
ankle strap,
Yeah, they had
yeah.
the little strap across the front of the
Mhm.
foot. And this is, like, again, for me with the whole thing with the nature is I realized at a very young age I was into, like, nylons and feet and heels and everything. As I got
Heels,
older, I
yep.
liked the high heels and stuff. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I didn't know why I liked it. I just
Mhm.
knew I liked it. You know
Mhm.
what I'm
Like, your brain
saying?
doesn't know why. You do, but you just don't know why.
Yeah, so the thing I'm saying is it's like the, like, certain proclivities, like fetishes and stuff like that. Like, do you come out of the womb having, like,
Mhm.
certain things that you like? Or because, I mean, like I said, I'm 5 years old and I'm around
Mhm.
girls now and I'm like, "Wow, this is really cool."
You're like, "I like
You
this. I don't
know?
know why I like this, but I like
And the
this."
thing that's funny about it is, right, you know how, like, kindergarten is a half a day, and I know you gotta do
Mhm.
your ABCs, and you gotta learn how to write your name and all that crap, right? But most of it was socialization.
Yeah, mhm.
Right? It was like,
Yep.
playtime and everything. So, like, the gender roles were alive and kicking in 1973. Okay. So my kindergarten class there was an area called the blocks, which was like the coveted, if you got picked to be in the blocks, that was like the shit, right? So all the boys would sit on the floor, and there was shelves with all of these wooden blocks that you would stack them up, and you would, oh, future engineers, the
I was
future.
about to say you're building
Yeah, the
skyscrapers.
future builders of America, right? And then on the opposite side of the classroom was the dollhouse, which was basically a fake kitchen with like fake toast, fake appliances, fake
Baby.
refrigerator. It was a kitchenette, and the girls would, do domestic shit, right?
They were prepping us.
Yeah, exactly. We were being groomed.
We're
Exactly.
being yeah, exactly, groomed.
We were being groomed. But the thing that was funny about it was, no matter where I started out, if I started out in the blocks, if I was painting, we had the watercolor paints. If I was
Mhm.
coloring, playing Parcheesi with like, one of my classmates, somehow I always wound up hanging out with the girls in the dollhouse.
Big surprise.
Yeah. What was funny
Big
was
surprise.
I have a distinct memory of my mother when she went up to parent teacher thing. It was like the first one. My kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Nelson, referred to me as Don Juan.
This surprises me not.
Yeah. Yeah, I was girl crazy, man. So I had a crush on this one girl, and like, I didn't know what to do. So like I walked up to her like we were leaving school, and I asked if she wanted to be my sister.
That was your only
I had no yeah.
basis,
Yeah, what
like,
thinking
it's
did I have at 5 years old? I thought that was like, "Oh, hey, would you
exactly.
like to be my sister?" And
So cute.
hand to God, I remember she's like, "Well, I already have a brother, and I don't think my mom would like I
Oh
don't think
my
my mom would
god.
like that too much."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
My family would miss me.
Oh, you had the whole thing with the projects, right? You grew up in a housing project, so you were in a target-rich environment for boys at a young age.
Oh, I mean, Target rich. It wasn't NYC nightlife, you know what I mean? But well,
A lot of kids,
it's kind of
though.
a lot of kids.
They
Yeah,
had
there
the
were a
the
lot of
double
kids, and it's
dutch, the
funny.
hopscotch.
Well, you gotta realize too, the one thing I will say when you're really young is the girls pretty much play with the girls, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
we had a lot of grass, and we had, like, a little white chain link fence, and we would go outside, and we would play double dutch, and hopscotch, and Red Rover, and I don't
Red
know if you
light
remember
red
green
light,
light, it
green
was like
light,
urban
yeah.
kid. Yeah, you
Uh-huh.
remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did have a lot of my first crushes were people around me, you
Mhm.
know? The thing that's funny is I know I'm segueing into something, but I wasn't really a girl that had a lot of, like, posters, and I'm
Mhm.
not knocking girls that did that. I have
Yeah.
friends that were all big into, like, oh, they had Matt Dillon posters, and they had, Tommy Howell posters and stuff. I really wasn't like that. I mean, I did have some celebrity crushes, but I wasn't one of those girls who was all into, like, Tiger Beat and all the magazines and all that stuff, and Lion Beat and all these
Lion Beast.
all these magazines. I just wasn't that person,
Yeah.
like I said, I tended to crush on the guys that I thought I had a shot with in 10 years.
Seeds for, like, future hookups, like well, the
Now,
thing
to be fair, I did have I was gonna ask you that question. I was gonna say, you're talking about the nature versus nurture. We were talking about when we first started noticing the opposite sex, like, who were some of your did you have celebrity crushes?
that's the thing too, it's like, I guess maybe that's why we wound up together in our 30s, because I was kinda like well, I mean, I was kind of the same way. So now if I'm gonna go back to, like, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, right? Charlie's Angels was all the rage, okay?
Oh, wow, yeah.
I was in Camp Jacqueline Smith.
Oh, she's beautiful.
I always thought she was way prettier than Farrah Fawcett, but
Yeah.
every dude between the ages of, like, 7 and 12 had that Farrah Fawcett Majors poster in his room. I think she was in a red one piece, and she's kinda sitting
Famous
sideways.
poster.
Everybody had that poster except me. You know why?
Why?
Playboy. Okay? I mean, I actually had centerfolds hanging up in my bedroom when I was, like, in junior high school.
No, that makes me think of remember Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
You know what? There's
Holy
swear to God, if you go and watch the movie, there's one centerfold, this blonde, she's in red with the thing off her shoulders, and she's wearing,
Mhm.
I think, like, suntan or, like, nude-colored nylons. I had that same exact centerfold hanging up in my room.
You and
So,
Sean Penn.
yeah, so, like, I bypassed, like, the whole that whole celebrity thing. Cause like my
Mhm.
crushes were like, Playboy centerfolds.
Oh my God. Well, when I think about my first celebrity crushes, I could think of 3 that come to
So
mind.
you had them.
I did. I'll be honest. I didn't really do the poster thing that much, but I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, I had boys on TV that I noticed.
Yeah.
So the very first one that comes to mind was, remember the show Silver Spoons?
Oh yeah, friggin' Ricky Schroeder, right?
Well, I wasn't into Ricky
Well,
Schroeder,
you're not
but
into
a very
blondes.
I don't dislike blondes. As a matter of fact, I always thought Paul Walker, God rest his soul, I always thought Paul Walker was
Yeah.
pretty hot. But on that show, I used to tune in specifically because I had such a crush on young Jason Bateman. I
Nice.
thought he was absolutely adorable. So you figure I was crushing on him probably when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And the thing that's funny is I think they were probably the same age as me because I'm pretty sure Rick Schroeder and Jason Bateman are probably my age now. So he was one of my first crushes. Then I also had, probably this is half the female population my age, had a crush on Rob Lowe.
No, that's a
I remember when
surprise.
that movie Oh, yeah, I remember when that movie, The Outsiders, came out. If you
Uh-huh.
remember, like, all 7 of those guys were, like, heartthrobs, and they all went on to have great careers and everything, but always had a little bit of a crush on Rob Lowe, and I used to watch all his movies. This one might surprise you because I don't know if everybody's gonna know who this is, but do you remember a movie called The Lords of Flatbush?
Duh.
Okay, hey, look, I don't know if everybody knows
Doesn't
this movie.
everybody?
It's like, I'm just saying, it's not as
Anybody over
popular.
anybody over 50 knows the Lords of Flatbush.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's not as popular as, like, Grease or something, but anyway, Lords of Flatbush, I remember a lot of girls were always crushing over a young Stallone. I'm not saying Stallone wasn't good looking, but I was madly in love with Perry King in that
Wow.
movie. I thought
Yeah.
Perry King was so hot. I wasn't into him as much when he got older and did, like, the Riptide
Well, that's
show.
because you saw him naked and then you were like, "That's it, I'm done."
Oh my God. Well, that's another story. I'm not even gonna get into that right now, but I forgot about that. But he had, like, that big mustache when he did
Yeah.
Riptide.
Let's
He
let's
looked a
just
little
say you got an
different.
unfortunate situation.
I'm trying to remember now. I'm pretty sure he did, like, some sort of stage
Yeah, he
production or
did, like, some
something where he
stage
was
thing and he was
naked.
nude and it was like, "Oh, man.
Yeah, I was a little bit
Womp
like,
womp."
"Aw, wah, wah." Maybe the theater was cold. I don't know. All I know might have been cold in the
But
theater.
before you saw him naked, you had a crush on him.
I did.
Yeah, okay.
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So I'm getting to that age now where, things are happening. So if I gotta think of celebrity crushes, I mean, I'm gonna think of 3 that I probably rubbed out to. All right. So like I like to refer to things as like the stroking years. Okay. So this is my male definition. Okay. So you have the stroking years are the day you discover the orgasm
Mhm.
to the day that you stop having them by yourself.
That's awesome.
Right. So
That is
there was
awesome.
that little window of time. I gotta say, I had a mad crush. And I'm talking probably like I'm an early teenager now.
Mhm.
Stephanie Powers.
Oh, heart to
From
heart,
heart to
huh?
heart, I had it bad for her,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
Um, do you remember that ridiculous show, Buck Rogers?
Yes.
Okay, Gil
Yes, I
Gerard,
do.
they did everything they could to try to make this guy like a heartthrob. I don't think it really worked out for him. He to me, he was like he was like a poor
Poor
man's
man's,
Christopher Reeve or something like that to
Oh,
me.
see, now I
He
gotta
was
look
like
him up because
clean shit. He had like the Anchorman haircut. Remember that like
I gotta look
everybody
him
had the
up.
same haircut?
Yeah.
It was the straight off to the side, like, with over the ears type of a thing, like,
Mhm. I don't remember him. I gotta look him
every
up.
Anchorman, like, had that same haircut. But anyway, Gil Gerard was Buck Rogers, but his female lead, you remember Erin Gray?
It's weird you said that because Erin Gray was in
Silver
Silver Spoons.
Spoons, but she
Mhm.
didn't wear spandex on Silver
No.
Spoons.
No, she did
She
not.
always wore that, like, that romper or whatever it was. I don't know if it was a one piece, but it was, like, that matching spandex, like,
Mhm.
sweatsuit or whatever it was, man, and I used to get, like, when she wore the purple.
Mhm.
Dude, that was off the hook. I had a mad crush on her, but probably my all-time favorite from, my high school years, Lisa Hartman from Knots Landing.
Oh, I remember
She
her. I
was
remember her.
so
Yep.
hot. She had,
Yep.
like, that,
Yep.
like, heart-shaped face with that chin, and she had the big blonde
I
hair.
remember the
She
big
I think
blonde
I
hair.
think her name on the show was, like she was, like, CG or something like that, like, she was, like, a pop
CG,
singer.
something like that.
But
Mhm.
here's the thing though, okay, with that whole thing with the '80s, there was not an ass to be found anywhere. I mean, it was like there was something about that 80s shit that, like, all the like, if you look at go pull up, like, Buck Rogers pictures of Erin
Mhm.
Gray, like, you're thinking, like,
Mhm.
she was filling out this spandex. It's like, no, she was like a
No. Huh?
stick with a beautiful face.
Yep.
Beautiful
Mhm.
woman, but I mean, you see
Yep.
pictures of her from behind, her ass is, like, running down to the back of the thighs, like, there's nothing there, okay?
What was that joke I said that time? I forgot what it was. We were walking somewhere, and I said this woman, her ass was so flat it was inside her
Yeah, it
body.
was just like yeah, but the thing of saying nobody had an ass, and the thing that's
Yeah.
funny is as far as, like, those standards of beauty go, okay, I'm hanging all the blame on Hugh Hefner.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Please elaborate on that
Well,
one.
again, Mr. Playboy, right? Again,
Okay.
I had, enough reading material to last me a very long time, and you had the centerfold, and then you had the bio on the back. They had the face pic, right? The headshot, and then she would fill out, the thing with the measurements and everything, okay? So, I knew we were doing this episode, so I decided to do, like, just a little bit of research, not a lot, but as it turns out, the average measurements for an 80s Playboy centerfold was 5'6", 115 pounds, 36, 23, 35. Okay? First of all, if you're 5'6" and you're 115 pounds, I'm taking you to the emergency room for an eating disorder. Okay?
Eat a cannoli.
Yeah.
Eat a
Exactly.
lasagna.
It's right. It's like, you know what? Let's pump it full of Reese's Ices or something,
Ah, it's
with extra
something. Oh my
custard.
god.
Yeah, but the thing I'm saying is, like, first of all, 115 pounds, okay? And the other thing is, I know a little something something about body composition, all right?
Uh-huh.
Diane, my friend Diane, the trainer from Gold's,
Mhm.
shredded. I can show
Rip.
you pictures of
Rip.
her in a two-piece bathing suit with a six-pack, okay? She's about 5'6". Her hovers around 130. Her six-pack waist measurement is like 29, okay?
Yep.
The
Yep.
all those Playboy numbers, they were made up, they were
Of course they
fabrication,
were.
and it's like,
Of
you
course
wanna
they were.
talk about warping standards? I'm blaming Hef, I'm blaming
It's
Playboy.
like those Barbie doll measurements. It's like,
They're so
whatever.
it's so fucking unrealistic, though. I mean, come on,
Yep.
115 pounds?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I kinda blame him for that, but the thing that's really weird to me now with the carryover is because in order for you to get notoriety, you had to be, like, on television, right?
Mhm.
It's all we had. There was
Mhm.
no internet, there was no social media, it didn't exist, right? So the thing is those standard that standard of beauty was, like, to me, was, like, very easily manipulated by Hollywood and the magazines,
Oh, yeah.
TV shows and stuff, and it's like, look, you know what? Hollywood is as woke as they like at to act like they are. They're like the most sexist, racist, like, typecasting,
Yep.
stereotyping bunch of motherfuckers to ever come down the pike.
I
They've
agree.
been
I
doing it to
agree.
us since forever.
I agree.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But the thing that I find funny about it is social media and, like, Instagram and girls that are, like, bustier and curvier and stuff. I mean, they get a lot of play from
Mhm.
men on social
Yep.
media, okay? I mean, look, I like big boobs and a big butt. I mean, and
No.
and big yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
No.
it's like, you're gonna give me all the Jennifer Anistons and the Meg Ryans, and I know I'm going back, and you're gonna give me all
Yeah.
those, like, leading rom-com ladies and stuff like
Rom-coms.
that, they all like Julia Roberts and all that. It's like, you know what, man? Give me Christina Hendricks.
I knew you were gonna say her.
Yeah. With
She had
with the
that Mad Men '60s
with that
body,
all
yep.
day and twice on Sunday with that, man, you know what
Yep.
I'm saying? And again, it's like, so the thing is, it's like society has kinda turned the corner as far as, like, we have, I guess, a more eclectic standard of beauty.
Mhm.
Hollywood
Yeah,
is not
no, I
caught up
agree.
to it in any way,
No, not
shape,
at
or form,
all. Not
because
at
how many
all.
times do we see it? We're watching a TV show, and I'm like, "Wow, she's really beautiful, but she's got no boobs."
Kind of boobs, yep.
All the
And what I
time.
always get annoyed about as being a woman that is big-breasted
I didn't
is I
notice.
always feel like
I had no
I didn't
idea.
notice. I've always complained because I always felt like every time now again, I'm not talking about the '40s and the '50s. In the '40s and the '50s, women were allowed to be more
Curvy.
big-breasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, curvy, big-breasted, but I feel like I don't know, like, as soon as, like, the '80s, '90s, 2000s hit, it's like every time I watch a TV show, that's why I made the comment about the B-cup body,
Mhm.
because every time you show a woman that's curvy, she's a stripper. She's the woman that the guy's cheating on that
The other
lives next door
woman,
that
she's
can't
the
be trusted.
temptress.
She's the temptress. She's
Bimbo.
she's dizzy. Yeah, she's a
Bimbo.
bimbo.
She's
It's like,
stupid.
hello, can I have big boobs and have a Mensa IQ? I mean, like, it's like, hello. And why? Why?
Wait a minute. Wait. I don't wanna go off on a tangent, but you wanna talk about that influence in the real world, okay? You had an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, we're gonna bring this up.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it up because you had an ex-boyfriend way back in the day
I
that
did.
he really took a shine to you because you guys met through a mutual friend,
Yep.
and you had hours. How many hours did you
Oh,
talk to
like the
him?
first night we met, we had a 9-hour
Yeah, that's the
conversation
same. You
about
guys were
literature, art, all kinds of stuff.
yeah, you were talking, and then he went out to LA on business, and then he
Mhm.
comes back at an undisclosed time in the future, and he goes to your friend and is like, "Yo, what's up with Robyn? Can I get her phone number, okay?" The thing that he
Mhm.
said to you was, he was surprised, considering how big your boobs were, that you were as
Something along
smart
those
and as
lines.
intellectual as you are, and again, I've been with you for
Mhm.
22 years. It's like, look, I tell you all the time, you're one of the smartest people I've ever met,
Thank you.
and you're
Thank
like,
you.
what, 40 double D?
Hey,
It is what it is.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But that
But yeah, but
It's a
that's that
stereotype. Let's be honest. It is a stereotype.
kinda
Every time you
ridiculous
have a
though.
show. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it works with men too, because if you think about it, when guys are in great shape or, they got the gym bodies,
Mhm.
same thing. If you look at TV, I mean, maybe it's changing now, but I mean, the stereotype in the past has always been, oh, he's full of himself. Oh, he's a
He's a
mimbo. He's like, you know
douchebag.
what I mean?
He's a
Yeah,
douchebag.
exactly. You know, he's
Yeah.
he's he's a narcissist.
Yeah,
So people how
the
yeah,
woman's a bimbo, and she's like an airhead, and the guy's full of himself.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. We have all these stereotypes just
yeah,
based on the way people look. So you talk about these standards of beauty, and it's like along with the standard of beauty
yeah.
goes stereotypes.
So I guess, like, we gotta wrap this up soon, so I guess the question is, was Tom Selleck actually hot?
So you're asking the wrong person because I first of all, for me, no, he's not a bad looking man. But again, I'm always going to go back to this. I'm going to use your Faith Hill example. Faith Hill is a
Yeah.
beautiful woman,
Mhm.
but you always said to me, beautiful woman, but she does nothing for you.
No.
So that's kind of the same way I am. There's a lot of guys in Hollywood that I don't know if Hollywood tries to push them as heartthrobs. Some of them are very good looking men. I'm going to name off some of the ones that, maybe at this age, I don't know if younger people would agree, but you got the Brad Pitts, the George Clooney's and stuff. It's weird. It's like I can appreciate that these are all good looking men, but they're not men that are on my radar. Like they're just
Yeah,
not ones that I personally that they really did anything for. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
I'm weird.
the
I have
thing
a
that's
type.
funny about that, like, with me is, like, I mean, for, like, years, right, Angelina Jolie does nothing for me.
Yeah, she's beautiful, but
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
I've always prided myself having I've always had a pretty eclectic
eclectic. Mhm.
taste in women
Mhm.
because, atmosphere of social media and stuff like that, there's a lot of talk about rating systems, right? It's like,
Mhm.
well, this girl's a 5 and she thinks she's a 10 and all this other stuff.
I
My
hate that,
my
but
thing
yeah.
my thing was I have a binary rating system. As a woman, you're either a 0 or a 1.
I love that.
I'm
I
into you
love
or
that.
I'm not, you know what
I'm
I'm
not,
saying? And,
exactly.
like
That's
I
how I
said,
feel.
I mean,
Exactly,
look,
same
I
thing.
love curvy women, I love a meaty ass and big boobs and stuff, but I was never really, like, locked into that, and I
Uh-huh.
did, let's face it, I was pretty easy on the eyes when I was a young dude, and
Mhm.
I always was like, you know, if a girl had it going on and I got an energy or I got a vibe and she was like a 6.5,
Mhm.
was down with that.
Yeah,
Cool with it.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
I agree with you with the binary. I kinda like that too. Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
I always hated that whole 1 to 10 thing. I'm not gonna look at a guy and go, "Oh, he's a 7, he's an 8, he's a
Yeah.
9." I like what you said. I either think he's attractive or I don't.
Yeah, but the
That's
thing is,
it.
it's just a physical rating, though. What about like intellect and social
Exactly.
skills
Like,
and
what about sense of humor? How smart is
brains?
this person? Yeah,
Yeah, you know
exactly.
what
Exactly.
about the way a person
It's
treats
like
you?
just
It's so
like
much other shit
Course.
that
I mean, of
goes into like,
course.
being able. We've been together for we're going on 23 years. It's not an accident.
Mhm. I hope there's more because here's the thing, neither one of us is gonna be hot at 80, I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you know
maybe,
what it
but
is? I think you kinda get to a point where, we look at each other and we're like, I don't think anybody else is gonna want us. Let's just
that's probably what's gonna happen. Yep. Like, I'm fuck with
let's
you.
just ride this
Yeah.
marriage thing out and see what happens, you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
Alright, anyway, we're over 30 minutes, so,
And the next one is gonna be a surprise. I'm not giving a teaser.
you don't want me to say
You just
anything.
no,
You got mad at
that
me
one's gonna be
before.
pretty amazing. No,
Alright,
that's gonna be pretty
anyway,
amazing.
are we done?
Yes.
Love you, honey. Peace out.
Love you too. Peace out.
Catch you later.